CTF in a cybersecurity sense, most of the time you have a challenge. This challenge could be anything. Could be a web application, a text file, a mobile app, you name it. Sometimes we even put, just for the fun of it, we'll hide a QR code under one of the tables and we'll be like, just watch like 50, 60 contestants get on their knees and look under the tables, just, for fun. Why not? I'm an organizer. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just watching. And the flag is usually a piece of text. Usually it's like flag and then curly brace and then something funny in the middle or like some random letters. It doesn't matter. And you submit that to the platform and you get points. That's essentially it. So an example would be something like a web application where if you log in as admin, you'll see a flag and you just copy it and paste it, and that's points. So in this challenge, this Linux challenge, which is composed of 33 different challenges, we're going to go from easy, and then we're going to hit a couple roadblocks on the way because my sense of difficulty is very messed up. And then suddenly we're going to be PhD level challenges somewhere around like 20. Obviously, we're not going to do all of them today. And I personally don't care how much we do today, as long as you learn. So if you're having fun and you're not sleeping, like I used to do in classes, then we're going to be fine. Going to be all good. Now, I want to say one thing, very important. There's no stupid questions, okay? Like, I know when I was in class and like the professor says something, I don't want to raise my hand, okay? This guy, I'm praying that he curves me, okay? I'm already at a C-. I don't want the professor to remember this is the stupid kid who rose his hand and like asked me a question in the class. I'm not going to get a curve, okay? That's not going to happen, all right? You can ask me the simplest question. That's number one. Any question at any point in time, just raise your hand and you can ask your question and I'll answer. Second thing, you're going to learn that there's something in computers we like to call because God intended it so. So sometimes you'll ask me a question. You'll be like, why did they call this command ls? Be like, because God intended it so. There's no answer. There's no long explanation. There's nothing. There's a bunch of engineers back in 1960 or 70 that cursed us all to be in this major, and they just came up with the rules that we have to live with today. They all died, so they don't have to live with the consequences of their actions, but we do. So sometimes you'll run into weird scenarios like that. That's just how it is. All right. Okay. So let's get started. So those of you who have laptops and you want to follow along, if you're running Linux, great. If you're running Mac, also great. If you're running Windows, I'm sorry, but it'll work. I'm just saying sorry because you have to deal with the fact that you're running Windows. And open up a terminal, all of you, whatever, Mac, Linux, Windows. If you have Windows, it would be better if you have the modern terminal. It's called Windows Terminal. It's like the new Windows terminal, because if you're going to use cmd.exe to do this, I'm going to be sorry. I'm going to stop the lecture and I'm just going to be sorry. Like I'm going to have a bad time. So there's a new terminal by Windows called Windows Terminal. You can find it online. It's in the Microsoft Store if you have the Microsoft Store. You don't need to be all fancy and get WSL and blah, 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 blah. So the first thing we're going to learn is a protocol called SSH. Now, this is exactly going to be one of those things that you're going to remember when I said there are some things that because God intended it so. So SSH is an acronym. It stands for Secure Shell. But Youssef, Secure Shell is 2 words and SSH are 3 letters. Yes, I understand. That is how it is. So SSH stands for Secure Shell. The SH in yes. Okay. I didn't realize I have to go down as base as possible. Okay, why are we learning Linux? Well, how many of you here have taken operating systems class? Okay, very few. I look forward to your faces after you take the class. So most of the world runs on Linux, okay? Most of the servers, most everything, the routers are running Linux, the projector is running some mini form of Linux, your phones are running Linux, Android or iOS, it doesn't matter, unless you have a Windows phone. Everything runs Linux, right? The reality is no dev in their life wakes up and be like, oh, I want to run a website, let me boot up a Windows server, okay? Like that person has personal issues, okay? Most of the world runs on Linux. In fact, most of the competitions you will run into, if any at all, in CTFs, they will advise you to run Linux because it is just the better operating system. There is no debate. I won't debate you, you'll lose. And that's it. So Linux, seriously, runs most of the world, right? Everything in the world runs Linux, almost. And so the reason why you need to learn Linux is that it's not just about the commands you're going to learn today. It's not just about the things and the concepts you're going to learn, because they apply to any operating system. What you're going to learn with me is not just Linux itself, but I'm going to show you how you approach challenges. I'm going to try to teach you critical thinking, which is not a course that they give in this university. And by the people I've seen graduate, they really should have a course. They should call it like COE 999, just critical thinking. Okay. So that's what we're going to be learning. That's why we're learning Linux. Because once all of you graduate and you move to a job and you sit at the interview and they ask you, how many years of experience do you have with Linux? And you're just going to shrivel and cry and not have an answer. So we're fixing that. Okay? Good enough answer? Oh, yeah. Okay. Obviously. So what I'm going to be teaching you in the beginning is going to be generic Linux concepts. And then it's slightly going to start including more and more cybersecurity mixed with Linux. And you'll notice that the cybersecurity stuff is actually just plain Linux. It's just plain logic. So cybersecurity is not a special, let's say, subdivision of computer science or engineering. To be a good cybersecurity expert, you need to be a good computer engineer. So let's say my job is car destroyer. Okay, that's my job. But I don't know anything about a car. Okay, all I know is I have a hammer and I just smash the car and I hope to God that something happens. Of course, I'm gonna do a basic job. But if I want to really tear a car apart, I need to know how the engine interacts with every other component in the car. I need to know exactly if I smash this window, what happens to the rest of the car. So my job, oh, I forgot to introduce my job. Damn, I have amnesia already. I work as a penetration tester. So what that does is essentially I work from home. I've never seen the inside of an office. It's a wonderful job. I get to laugh at my friends that wake up at 6 a.m. to avoid Dubai traffic. And I just wake up at 10 a.m. to my Spotify playlist and I'm having a good time. I get jobs. So something like, you see this website, whatever, insert website.com. My job is to try to hack the living hell out of that website. So I get no restrictions, just hack, destroy. Okay. And a week, 5 days later, I write a report of what I found, and that's my job. And then I just wait for the next job. So sometimes I go like 3-4 days with literally nothing to do. It's amazing. It's a wonderful job. Anything better than being a software engineer, بصراحة يعني. So that's how, to be a good penetration tester or to be a good cybersecurity person, you need to know how applications work. How can you hack a Linux system if you don't know how Linux works? How can you hack a web application if you've never written one in your life? How can you try to break down complex diagrams like, oh, this web server talks to this database and this database talks to this server? How can you understand how to, abuse those connections if you've never dealt with them before? Okay, enough talking. I'm getting bored myself of talking. So let's start. How do we SSH? So the SSH syntax is very simple. Okay, let me just adjust this just to make sure that I am, I think, any more than this, and we're going to start seeing pixels. Let me just start typing. Okay, this is good enough. I think I'll zoom out a bit. Okay, so obviously we want to run SSH. You're going to type in SSH. If you're on Windows, I think you're going to type ssh.exe because Windows. And the first, oh, go away. Why are you auto-completing? The disadvantages of having a fancy setup. Yeah. All right, so the first thing is the username. So this challenge that I've built, we start from a user called chal0, which is short for challenge. And we're going to work our way up from chal0 to chal33. So the username is chal0. I think it's going to autocomplete the command now, which is going to be very annoying. Oh, it didn't. Cool. And then like an email. And then you're going to type in the address. Where are you connecting? So in this case, you're connecting to cloud.deadpackets.pw. If this doesn't work, I'm going to cry. Now, normally SSH runs on port 22. Okay, if you don't know what ports are and networking, this is a whole different scenario. Take a networking class. And but on my system, if we leave it like this, we're going to log in into my actual server because my server is running SSH on port 22. But what I'm running is I'm running a secondary kind of like VM, right? And so that's what we want to connect to. So if you want to change the default port on Linux, see, if I run this, I don't even think it will work because I think port 22 is firewalled. Yeah, see, I changed my port. So we want to change the port. So you're going to do -P, and this is your introduction to the first ever option. So when we deal with commands in Linux, or I'm just going to focus on Linux. When we deal in commands in Linux, when you want to specify options, you do it like this with a dash. So most of the time, most commands on Linux, you can do -H for help. So ls, whatever, think of it. If you don't know what you're doing, you can always run the command and do -H for help. So what we're doing is -P, which I just know from experience is the port option. Again, you can Google. I think if I remember correctly, it was 22000. Ah, okay. Something happened. Oh yeah, I know this. Don't worry. We're just gonna copy this. We're just gonna listen to what SSH is telling us. Thank you. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Here we go. So this is the command you should be running. Username at host space -P port. In this case, it's 22000. You'll press enter. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to connect to this address? Because SSH is like that. And you're going to say yes. It's going to ask you for the password. You're going to get this nice prompt. Now, the password is chal0 also. So CHAL 0. Ta-da! All right. So raise your hand once you log in. I just need to see a show of hands. Okay, good. Some of you are slow. That's okay. No problem. Slow and steady wins the race. chal0, same thing as the username. You log in, you'll get this nice thing that I worked very hard on. Okay. You'll be surprised how hard it is to make this look this pretty. This by itself took like an hour of work. You see this thing that like takes 5 seconds of your time? All right. So I wrote a lot of text because clearly, as you can see from me, I like to talk. But essentially, we don't need any of this. Okay. I'm going to summarize all of this. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be capturing flags. And the flags that you capture are the password for the next user. So when we capture this flag, the value of it is you'll log out. So I'll show you how to log out of SSH. There's like a million ways. One of them includes just shutting down your laptop. That counts as a logout. And you'll log in again at chal1, and the flag is the password. And then you keep incrementing chal2, 3, 4, 5, all the way till 33. Okay? So let me just clear this screen. Ouch. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Sorry. It's like teaching a toddler. I was like, I have to talk about everything. Right. In Linux, passwords are essentially sacred. So whenever you type your password, it doesn't show you what you're typing, not even stars. You'll just be typing into the void. Okay. And the void will magically accept your password and pass it to Linux. Yeah. chal0. Yeah. When you type the password to SSH, it's going to be invisible. That's intended. It's going to look like that. Again, like I said, it's good you're asking questions. You guys can ask questions if there's something that's going on. chal0, same thing as the username. I don't mind at all. You can ask questions. Okay, I'll show you. Should probably write the command down. Here, I'll open a new. This. Challenge 0. But like, yeah, all lowercase. Yeah, Linux is not case insensitive, guys. Okay. Oh, come on, guys. Listen, challenge 4, 5. We're gonna have to explain a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
So, guys, just to be clear, every minute I want an interruption, okay? So,
Yeah.
Every minute. So, every minute, 1, 2 interruptions. Just keep interrupting him, so you know we keep learning because he doesn't know like exactly what you're trying to convey, what you want to know. So interrupt him, so he knows what he has the information.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what you might be missing on. All right. I know computers for like 6, 7 years. So what to me is basic knowledge could be like juggling 10 different bowling balls for you. Okay. So you gotta interrupt me and ask me questions. Okay. Yeah.
This guy's
Okay. We just logged in.
like generally speaking,
Oh, yeah. No, that's just a quirk with SSH. Things are going to be very easy from now on. All right. I'm breaking everything while walking here. All right. So we logged in. This is what we call a shell. Why is it called a shell? Because God intended it so. Again, one of those questions that you're just going to keep hearing that. Okay. Why is it called a shell? Who called it a shell? I don't know. Some Harvard graduate or something. Okay. So this essentially is a program. What we're actually in right now is a program that is being run by the Linux system that you connected to. Okay. And we can type commands in this. It's just like the command terminal that you have on Windows or Mac or whatever. It's the same thing, except this one is nice and fancy because it has colors that I worked very hard on. And we can type whatever you type in is going to be executed on the remote system. We're logged into that remote system now. So this is just an example of one of the shell prompts that you get. So this is user at host, whatever. And this dollar, again, like I can talk about this for hours, but we don't have to really. So what shells are there? Don't ask that question because it's just too many answers. So all you need to know is whatever we type in here gets run on the remote system as shell 0. You're logged in as shell 0. So there's, yes. We logged in. So this is essentially like popping up a command prompt on that remote server, except it's just on your laptop. Yes, exactly. You're actually connected to my computer, my server back at home. You're logged in and you can run commands on that server now. Right? Okay. So the description of this challenge is there is a file in this folder. Cannot get any simpler than this. So we're going to learn our first ever Linux command, listing files, ironically or unironically named ls. So just first command of the day, ls, list files. So ls, enter, file. So we have a file, all right? Now, we want to read this file. Now, again, this is going to be one of those questions, and the answer is because God intended it so. How do we read files in Linux? The command is called cat. Why is it called cat? Because someone thought that concatenate means the same thing as reading. Again, some engineer came up with this. All right, you have a problem, take it up with them. So we want to read this file. So again, we're going to just type our next new Linux command, cat. And then there's this cool thing about Linux where it can autocomplete for you because it is the superior operating system by just typing tab. Okay, just press tab. Yeah, I know. All right, so, and then just press enter. And there you go. Congratulations. You have captured your first ever flag. Or for some of you who have been playing CTFs for a while, your nth flag. So this is the flag. That's basically it. If there was a CTF platform, you would copy this and submit it and you would get 0 points because this is nothing. And so what we're going to do is I need you to copy this middle part between the curly braces. Okay, just like select it, Control C, right click, copy, write it down in another, whatever you want to do. I would actually advise you to write it down in a separate like notepad if you want to keep track, because these challenges, they're still up. Like if you're really excited and you want to lower your GPA and just go home and just focus on doing this all day, no problem. I'm not going to turn the server off. Okay. Someone has a question. Yes, go ahead. Cat is not running. Let me see. Oh, you have to give the file name as an argument. Manta, you were too late. You have to cat and then space the file name, right? Yeah, if you run cat with no arguments, you start typing into the void again. It's just something about Linux and voids, you know. Okay, so our first ever flag. Cool. So again, I'm going to show you. We're going to copy what's between the curly braces. Okay. And then there's a million ways for you to log out of an SSH session, like literally 1,000,001 ways. Most famous one is just log out. Ta-da. Okay, that's it. So now we logged back out. Now we want to log back in again. Never mind my fancy shell. So we want to log back in again. So you can actually press up, the up arrow on your keyboard, and it'll bring up the previous command that you ran. Right? See, look. Ta-da. And all we're going to do is come up to child 1 here, or child 0, replace it with child 1, and then paste. And we're logged in as child 1. And so this is the song and dance we're going to repeat every time we want to move up. Okay? The password is the flag you just captured. What's between the braces, without the word flag and the braces, just what's between the braces. Awesome? dir is the Windows command. So Windows is based off of DOS. DOS commands are different than Unix commands. Yeah, so it's the same thing, list files, yeah. No, different command. And like when you open a terminal on Windows, that's DOS based. DOS has a complete different set of commands than Unix. Like I know you can run ls in CMD and sometimes it works, but that's because Windows kind of like when you run ls, it actually runs dir secretly for you, something like that. Yeah, because it's a different operating system. That's Windows. Or are you talking about dir works on Linux? No, dir won't work on Linux. Maybe it will. Again, it's a complicated question. Same command, you'll just change the username from child 0 to child 1. You'll just move the number 1 up. Yes. You can do this on a Windows terminal. Same command. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yes. That's the server. And then the -P is the port because SSH by default is port 22. I'm running on a different port. So you just kind of have to say. Okay, so let's read the message that it says here. Let's try to solve this one. Okay. I'm going to show you how to Google, how to use the power of Google to solve problems. You know, it's a very useful tool. So it says here, the flag was here, but someone put it in a hidden file. It's the flag of child 0 between the braces. Okay, so let's just use the knowledge that's available to us. I'm going to ls. Nothing. Panic. Okay, all the knowledge that I have is not working. My life is a lie and I don't know what's happening. So let's Google. We have a hint, hidden files. So let's just, I should probably open an incognito tab. Yes. Yeah, God knows what I'm looking up. ls hidden files. To show hidden files, you must use the -A option. This tells the ls command to list all files, including hidden ones. Wow, thank you, Google. So just whenever you have a problem, you just Google it. Very concise. I think like, you know how I said critical thinking should be a course? There should be a prerequisite to that, which is how to use Google. Those two combined, you'll be the best. Yeah, Adam. Should be Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift-V. No. Okay, good. See, you're yeah. So copying from a terminal, you should not use Control-C. Control-C is a special character in terminal. So you should Control-Shift-C and Control-Shift-V. Also don't do Control-V. Yeah, on Mac command works. The Command-C, Command-V work. But if you have a Windows layout keyboard, then don't use Control-C, Control-Shift-C. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned that there is something called -A. So let's do ls -A. Ta-da! So we learned something about Linux just now. Something is that in Linux, any file or folder that starts with a dot is hidden. Okay? Well, it's not really hidden since you can do LSA and it will show up, but like, you know, it's out of your way if you're doing normal ls. So any file or folder that starts with a dot, its name starts with a dot in Linux is considered hidden. Hidden only in a fancy sense. Yani, like it's not actually like, you know, hidden and no one can see it. No, it's just out of your normal way. Like if you open a file explorer, it's not going to show it to you by default. You know? So again, using the same knowledge we acquired, we just have two tools right now, ls and cat. That's all we know. Cat and tab. Enter. And there you go. Second flag. Okay. Any questions so far? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so you could have bypassed the need for LSA if you just did tab, because the shell knows where the files are. Yeah. Hidden, again, hidden, we just call it hidden. But it's just a folder that you won't normally see unless you specifically want to see it. That's it. It's for convenience, you know? Yes. I'll come up to you. Hold on. Because I can't hear. I have my XM4s on all day. I'm losing my goddamn hear. What? Oh. No. It's when you run cat without an argument, it does this. So you can stop commands with Control C. Control C quits whatever you're running in Linux. No, you're still logged in. Look at the bottom here. So you just run cat again, but put the file as an argument, like in front of it. Yeah, Mr. Robot Hoodie. Yeah. we can talk about that. All right, yeah. So guys, if you get stuck at all, you can just try Control C. So Control C in Linux is kind of like the emergency stop button. It'll just kill whatever you're running. So for example, if some of you were doing this, you run cat and you get stuck and you're like, please help God. Okay, you just do Control C. Okay, Control C and you're back. It's all good, no problem, nothing happened. So just to show you why hidden folders exist, okay, I'm going to take you to my normal folder. So this is my actual laptop, right? I think if I do ls, okay, there's nothing here. So you see all this stuff? See, I have a file to remind me to do something. I don't know what it is. All right. So if I do lsa, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay. This is very annoying. I don't want to see all that. Okay. So ls is just, see, the important stuff that I need to see. Okay. Okay. So second flag, right? Again, same thing as before. Copy, Control-Shift-C. Instead of logging out with logout, I'll just log out with exit. It's the same thing. I'm just showing you different ways. And then we'll just go back to our command and we will run from chal1 to chal2. Remove, enter, like this. Paste, Control-Shift-V. We're in chal2 right now. Okay, no problem. Everything's good. If you're lagging behind, tell me. And it's okay. I want you guys to catch up, so we can wait. I'll show you the command. Yeah. Wait, you want to access chal2 for chal0? You use that to get to chal1. Take the flag from chal1, and then the flag from chal1 is the password for chal2. You need the flag of the previous user to go into the next one. Yeah, I'll come. Okay. Again, raise your hand if you've logged into chal3. Just waiting for me. Okay, good. I want everybody else to kind of like catch up. All right, don't worry, I'm here to help.
Sometimes I have no idea what happened. I mean,
yeah, okay. Like... So you got the C cat, and then that's the file.
Yeah.
So you read it.
The hidden one. Yeah.
Yes.
Getting started by.
Getting started, you'll Control-Shift-C this.
Yeah.
And then we need to log out. So you'll exit, and then press up to bring back the command.
Okay, so from square one.
Exactly. And then Control-Shift-V, and now you can do the hidden one.
Thanks.
Oh, you guys are gonna run the one here. Yeah.
We're here to, so just like any tell them that anyone who wants help, like specific help, we are here.
Yeah. Okay, help them. All right. Ta-ta-da. So raise your hands. The guys will come help you. All right, and I'll just be kind of like, you can ask me quick questions. If you need help, then someone will come if you have a question now. Okay, chal0, we logged in, we ran ls, we found the file, we catted it. Normal. Used cat to read it. Very normal. We logged in to chal1. There was a hidden file. So we learned about ls-a to show you hidden files. And we read this file, same thing with cat. Push this aside, now we're in chal 2. You'll learn something new in chal 2 now. All right. So while everybody is catching up, just pay attention with me for a second. So let's look at this. It says here, this file is filled with a bunch of text. Can you filter it to find the flag? So let's use the two things that we know how to do. Okay, ls. Let's just do lsa for fun. Nothing. All right, so I'm going to explain this dot and dot dot that you keep seeing because I realize that this might be a bit confusing. These are not files. These are folders. And they exist in every folder in Linux. They're like ghosts. They follow you everywhere. Okay, this dot dot is previous folder and dot is this folder. Now, why would you want something that references this folder? We'll get to that later. But dot dot is just the previous folder. So for example, okay, that's a different command. We'll talk about that later. Let's say you want to list the files of the folder above the folder you're in. So you can do ls dot dot, and you'll see a bunch of, these are all the challenges that we have available. Okay. Again, don't get confused by this. Just know that dot dot is a magical reference to the previous folder. Dot is a reference to the current folder. That's it. Okay. I'll just clear this so you guys don't get confused. All right. Back at the top, we have ls. No flag here. Very ominous named file. Let's read it. Again, the two tools that we have. And text. Now you could do this the boring way, which is literally scrolling and like reading. I think this is just lorem ipsum times 100. Okay. Or we can learn how to filter output in Linux. So we're going to learn a new tool now. We have ls and cat. We're going to learn a new thing now. There is a command called grep. Okay. Why is it called grep? Because God intended it so. We're going to keep hearing that, I want you to hammer it in your mind. Sometimes when you're watching a networking lesson and you'll be like, why did they call it this? Because God intended it so. Okay. So what does grep do? Grep takes the first argument it takes. Okay. And when we call argument, it's like the first option, right? Is what is the word you're looking for. Okay. Now I'm trying to find flags, right? What is the common word that I will find in a flag? Flag, exactly. Okay, so I can very intelligently just say that I'm searching for flag. Okay, yeah. That's the first argument to grep. And then the second argument is the file. Where do you want to search? So I want to search this file. No flag here. And I'll press enter. Ta-da! Okay. Now, if you guys have questions that are like help, the guys will come help you. If you have questions directed to me at the material, raise your hand. I'll answer you. Oh, you're looking for that. Okay. They'll just keep your hand raised. I think they'll come to you. So grep takes something that you're looking for. It's kind of like Control F. It shows you all the instances of this word. Exactly. Help? Okay. You can put anything, any word you're looking for. This is literally Control F. You are looking, you are searching, right? Okay. So that's grep. Now, I'm going to show you a couple options with grep because grep is very important. We're going to kind of like rely on this a lot. So there's another way of doing grep. I'm going to teach you something called piping. Okay. Why is it called that? Because God intended it so. Okay. Now, when we say you want to pipe something in Linux, is you want to take the output of one command and you want to feed it in the input of the second command. How do we do this? How do we literally build a pipe between one command and the other? I have, let's say, ls. Let's say I have a folder with 7 billion results, okay, like 7 billion files. And I'm looking for this one file that starts with hello. Well, I don't have a file, so what can I do? What if you can take the output of one command and send it to the input of another command? And that's what we call piping. So here's how we do it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cat the file. Okay, we know this. It does this ugly output, right? Now, we need to identify exactly what we're trying to do. We want to read the file, and we want to send the output of the file to another command, which is grep in this case. So how does that work? Let me show you. So introducing cat. And then this symbol looks like this. This is a pipe. Okay? Look for this symbol somewhere on your keyboard. It's above your enter key. All right? And then you type in the next command you want, which is grep. And then in this case, I told you that grep takes two arguments, right? The thing you're looking for and a file. In this case, there is no file. So we're just specify the first argument, which is what it is you're looking for. And it's the same thing. Okay? So now we learned four tools: ls, cat, grep, and we learned the concept of piping. Okay, we're kind of building up our tool set. Yes. Exactly. So when you're using piping with grep, you don't specify the second argument. Because the people who wrote grep in the software, they'll detect if Linux is trying to give them a pipe, and they'll ignore the second argument. All right? Yeah, exactly. Yes. No, it's taking the output of the first command and sending it as an input to the second command. Output of the first, what comes out, and then in to the second command. Press CD with no arguments. Just type CD. Should be fine. I'll take you back to home. Yeah. Right. So this is just, so what we're doing is we're gathering flags, and flags are just special pieces of text. It's kind of like literally like a flag, like you're capturing a point. That's basically it. So we're just looking for those, and we're using them as the password for the next user. Yeah, we can keep going. We can keep going. ls, pipe to cat, pipe to. I've written some cases, for example, where here I'll show you actually how brilliant this is. All right, hold on. This is actually, I'm going to show you a real case of how I use this in my job, right? Let's say I have let's go to one of my NDA covered things, so I go to jail. Let's go. Sure. Actually, on second thought, I should not do this because we're on camera. If I was not on camera, I would not have minded. I need an example. Let's see if I have something here. Do I have anything here? Anything I can use? Damn, I actually can't think of anything. All right. Okay, we'll get to an example later, but you can pipe into a pipe, into a pipe, into a pipe, and you can go all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Control C. Yeah, so Control C. Yeah, should work. Oh, why is that not working? How do you Control C on Mac? No, Command C is copy. Yeah, but that's not work. Mac, maybe Option C. What the heck? Let me leave. How do you? Does anyone know how to Control C on Mac? Control C, Control Z. Control Z is background, Africa. That's not gonna do the job. This will technically work. It's not working either. Your MacBook is cursed. You can close the terminal and open it again. Yeah, it's the cheapest way to get it out. That's not going to work because the permissions are messed up. You guys, you can't just manually go to the next challenge. You have to log out and log in again, okay? Because of permissions issues, they're going to get in your way, okay? So an example of the multiple pipes, yeah? So let's say, for example, you have a big file, like a CSV. So what sometimes when I do is I'll cat the CSV file, and there's some commands in Linux that let you split by a character. So I split by the comma, and I want the third column, and then I want to sort them alphabetically, and then I want to grep for a certain thing. So that's literally like 4 pipes in a row, right? And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, let's move on to the next one because we're going to learn something more interesting now. So we'll copy this again. We'll go back to the command. We'll go from child 2 to child 3 and paste. All right, so let's pick up the pace. So ls, we have a bunch of files now. Okay, we have a bunch of files. Now, what you can do, obviously, is we can do grep flag on each one of these files. But come on, guys, that's going to take forever. Surely there's a way to get around this in Linux. And there is. Let's say you want to cat all of these files together. How can you do that? Well, in Linux, we have a character called the asterisk character. And that's basically everything. So what you can do is cat. Let me move this to the top of the screen, actually. Cat. And then random. Right? Let's just do this. And then star. So anything that starts with random will be included in this command. And you type enter. Please don't be mad at me. Okay, my laptop is possessed. Again, remember when I said I wrote these at 3 a.m.? This is exactly, I think I wanted to punish people who would do grep everything. So clearly the punishment is happening. Please stop. Thank you. So don't do that. So you don't stop it, you just wait. Yeah, or control C. Control C should work. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's gonna ruin your terminal. It's going to. This is on purpose. I wanted to punish people who would cat everything. I wrote this like 3 years ago, guys. All right. So how do we get around this? Okay. Well, we're going to use grep, okay? Because clearly cat doesn't work. If you want a technical explanation of why this is happening, why my laptop was freaking out and why your terminals are freaking out, it's because I have some characters in these files that you can't see. But the computer understands those characters as instructions. So it just starts to do random things and it just starts to blow up, essentially. Okay? So we're looking for the word flag, and we have a bunch of files. Let's try to use that same knowledge again, right? So we're going to do grep flag random star. Wow. Easy. Okay? Cool? Yes. That worked? It's not going to work, yeah. Because you have to do it this way. So we have a bunch of files called random. That's the thing I'll show you. So we have a bunch of files called random. Yeah, exactly. Random, but it's like random numbers. And we don't want to go through the effort of like, you know, grepping one by one. So you just do random and then star, and Linux will autocomplete for you. Yeah. Yeah, there is a way to loop in Bash. We'll actually get to that. Yes. Questions, keep coming. Adi, I don't mind. Like, explore. If your brains are moving, keep them moving. Yeah. Yeah. The piping is not going to work because these files contain certain characters that they're not ASCII characters, as we call them. The computer can't display them. So grep gets a bit confused, and it's like, because grep is only meant to be on text. So it's like, what's happening? You can fix it, but like this normal way is better. Okay. Okay. No other questions? Oh yeah. We can do that because no, but that's an actual challenge. That's the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you very quickly other ways we could have done this. All right, because this is just again, we're not necessarily in anything cybersecurity. This is just Linux. Okay, so how could we have done this differently? So there is an option in grep called R for recursive. Okay, let's say you have a folder and that folder has subfolders and those subfolders have files. What are you going to do then? So grep has something called recursive where it will, if you give it a folder, it will go through all the folders and subfolders and subfolders. So let's try to do that. So in that case, what we're going to do differently this time is we're going to add -R and we're going to change this to dot. Remember when I said that dot refers to the current folder? Why would we need that? This is one scenario why we would need that. So this will take care of every file, not just if it's called random, if it's called anything. Okay, it will work. -R is recursive. So you give it a folder as the second argument instead of a file, and it will basically ls that folder and keep going through all those folders. So I'm going to give you an option also in grep that's going to save your time called -I for case insensitive. So it must be annoying to type flag in all caps all the time. So again, this same thing repeated. Ta-da! So -I is ignore case insensitive, uppercase, lowercase, we're all good. Oh yeah, and when you have multiple options in Linux, you can do them like this. You can put the letters next to each other, or you can separate them -R, -I, but but that's kind of ugly. And yes, -R means recursive. So -R means the second argument, instead of being a folder, instead of being a file, it will be a folder, and it will search all the files in that folder automatically for you. Okay, this is useful, for example, when you're looking for a certain word in code, because you have subfolders and subfolders and subfolders. So, and then I is case insensitive, uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter anymore. Yes. This, yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. So this is where things get a bit different. Each programming language has its own like option processing syntax. So that's the problem. So some, for example, in Python doesn't care where you put the arguments. You put them here, here, wherever, it doesn't matter. But most cases, they like the arguments first. So I just do the arguments first. -R is recursive. When we have a folder, let's say you have, for example, a code base. So you have like, app, JavaScript, all these folders, and you're looking for a certain word. So recursive means I'm going to give you a folder. I want you to look through all the folders, all the folders, all the folders. Recursive, and keep going down, 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 down. It does work without the dot because it'll just do the current folder automatically. Yeah, that's default. Okay, good, because we're gonna suddenly, like, we're doing baby steps, and then I think challenge 5 is kind of like a big step, like 3 steps at the same time. Yeah, we're gonna write some code. I'm sure you guys love doing that, right? You're an AUS after all. All right, so let's move on to challenge 4. Yeah, I honestly don't remember what challenge 4 is. All right, so I'm gonna do a magic trick, guys. Watch me log out without typing anything. You can Control D to log out. Okay. All right, so let's copy this. Come here, challenge 4, enter, paste. Okay. Challenge 4 is the brute force one. Okay, here's where things get a bit yeah, okay. So I kind of did this on purpose. Okay, the difficulty jump is kind of on purpose because we're gonna have to Google a lot, and so the majority of this challenge is actually how to use Google effectively. I'm gonna explain to you some things, and we're gonna Google some things. So first things first, there's a command called jailbreak. All right, it takes an 8-digit pin. Actually, this is wrong. It takes a 4-digit pin. But again, you know, writing at 4 a.m. not a good idea. So ls. All right. So you're going to try to cat this, which is a brilliant idea. You know, we're just like, you know, ancient people, ooga booga, you know, a monkey see, monkey do. I just see a file. Okay, cat, jailbreak. Oops. Okay. So what happened? Well, this is not a text file. Okay, it's not a text file. It is an executable. Okay, it's an exe. But in Linux, because we're so great, we don't need to put file extensions at the end of our files. You know, we just engineers intuitively know what the I'm joking. So how do I know? There's a command in Linux called file. What it does is it tells you what the type of file you're looking at is. So let's do that. File, jailbreak. It's going to spit out a bunch of information, but effectively all you need to look at is ELF. Okay, ELF means Linux executable. Okay, Linux version of an exe. This was C++. So you know when you're in the programming one lab and you're wondering why God put you here and like you press run on Visual Studio, that's essentially what happened. So this used to be C++ code and I compiled it and this is what happens. Okay, you get an ELF when you're on Linux. So how do we run? Yeah. I realized it's kind of at the bottom. Here you go. All right, ls, and then we run file, and it will tell you, again, this is telling you a bunch of stuff. You know, we don't really care about this. It's a 64-bit ELF, 64-bit Linux executable. So how do you run Linux executables? So remember again how I talked about dot, how dot references the current folder. We're going to need that. So if you want to run something in the current folder you're in, you do dot slash, I'm gonna kind of bring this up. I need to clear, I think. Dot slash and the name of the command you're trying to run. So dot slash means in this folder. Dot slash is in this folder. Okay? And you're specifying the name of the command you want to run. So let's press enter, right? It's going to print out some help. It's going to say, oh, you're supposed to include a pin as an argument. So let's try doing that. I don't know why I keep walking back and forth. Let's try 000. The segmentation fault is probably because I am very bad at writing C++. So ignore the segmentation fault. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, that's my C code crashing because it's brilliant C code. So incorrect passcode. So essentially, we need to find a way to go from 0000 to 9999. That's a big step up. So obviously, using the information that I remember from my Tamer Shanabla classes, I need something called a for loop. At least I remember something, you know? I need something called a for loop. So can I do this concept of a for loop? Can I do this in a shell? You guys are all laughing. Yeah, I took with all the same professors you took, guys. I'm a student just like you, sitting in the library, crossing every finger I have in my body. Please give me a class. Okay, so we need to somehow run this command, this jailbreak 000, from 000 all the way to 9999. So let's break this down first. First question is, can we do for loops in shell? The answer is, well, Allah, Akha Google will know. Let's see. Bash. Oh, okay, so this is gonna, so bash is the name of the shell you're in right now. It's called bash. Okay, why does it stand for bash? What does bash stand for? It stands for the born again shell. Why is it called the born again shell? Because God intended it so. Okay, so bash for loop. All right, we have an example. Okay, here we go. Wow, the perfect example. Can you zoom in? Thank you. Ta-da! This is the bash language. For I in 1 to 5, do, and then the command you want to run, and the variables are with a dollar. So this I here becomes $I here, and then done. Very simple. For loop, just like any other for loop that exists in any other language. Yes. Of course not. Oh yeah. Do I have to remember this stuff? So no. I for even me, like sometimes I'll be like trying to like SSH and I forget that dash P is a thing, and I'm just like, how to SSH different port, you know? That's why I don't want to open my actual browser. You'll see me like Googling the most rudimentary things, how to breathe, for example. Yeah, you know, just so it's okay to forget. No one is asking you to remember everything. Wallah, it's okay to, I sometimes I forget everything and I have to Google, and so it's fine. Some things I know by heart because I do them repeatedly. And so we want to do this. Okay, this is what we want to run. So let's do it. So we have two ways of doing this. We can write it in a file and run the file. I don't want to do that because I'm lazy. So we're just going to do it in one line. I'm going to show you how this for loop looks like in one line. It's as ugly as you can imagine. So we're going to do it. And we can do it directly in our shell. Okay? So for I in open curly brace 0 to 9999, and then semicolon, do, let's just echo. So echo is just print. Okay, echo is just you'll put something and it'll just spit it back out. That's the easiest thing ever. Yes. How many dots did I put? One. يا أخي. 2 dots. Echo. Dollar. I. Semicolon. Done. Ta-da. So we know our for loop works. Again, I'm going to bring it back up because I know you guys wanted to copy it down. There we go. Is there anyone who does not understand this for loop? Okay, so variables, in the beginning, we call it I normally. But when you want to reference it in the loop, you have to put $I. Yeah, like star in C++. Yeah, I know it's a bit different, but yeah, star kind of, yeah. So variables in shell always start with $. Okay. Yes, done. So this is, again, it's a weird syntax. Do is like, this is what you're going to do in the for loop. And then done is like, this is khalas. It's like the curly brace in C, with what starts the for loop and ends the for loop. So like do is the opening brace and like done is the closing brace. Okay, so we're going to replace this echo with just our /jailbreak, right? So we're going to be here a while, guys. So it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow. I just like how it's segmentation faulting every time. Yeah. Yes. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, I'll show you. I think I ran it a bit too fast, yeah? Stop. Okay. There. I just replaced the echo with /jailbreak. We're running the jailbreak command, and this is our input, and this is the argument. Good question. No, it would not work. But I know that the pin is more than 1,000. So. Yes. Yeah. Because I buy good hardware. I can actually go and see how my server is doing. Let's see. In my house, literally next to my bed, I have a white noise generator, Jembrasi. I go to sleep, I just hear fan. So I never need white noise. Always have white noise next to my head. All right. So let me actually log into my server. Let's see. Oh, hello. Oh no, sorry. There we go. Excuse-moi. Oh, I'm logging into Minecraft. Habibi, not Minecraft. يا أخي. By the way, I called it that, but it has nothing. This is where I put all my hacking stuff. I called it that on purpose. Okay, here is my server. Would you like to update? Sure, why not? Thank you. Let's run HTOP. Yeah, I'm running fine. It's not that bad. I would say like 80%. Oh, this is HTOP. So this is the task manager equivalent. in Linux. Again, there's like so many different task managers in Linux. There's top, there's htop, there's ztop, there's xtop, there's everything. Okay, everybody makes their own one. Yes. These are my cores. So I have a 16, it's a 16 core i9. So for that's core 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 15. That's my 15 cores. This is my RAM usage. This is something called the swap, which you will learn about in operating systems. And I don't want to explain. And then this is my uptime. So my server's been running uninterrupted by my mom turning it off by accident for 13 days. And that's pretty much it. I'm running a lot of things on this server. Yeah. No, you can't. So when you SSH into, that's actually a good question. So people worry that when you're SSHing into my server, does that open some kind of gateway for me to connect to your laptop? No, that's not the case. When you connect to my server, yes, I know what your IP address is, but like you're all connected to AUS Wi-Fi, so it doesn't really matter. How can I get it? Because if that was the case, then SSH would not exist. What is this? Yeah, I log into a system and then someone attacks me. Yeah, secure shell for a reason, exactly. All right, enough of my server. Yeah, I'm running so many things on this. All right, let's go back to. All right, so let's watch this output and pay close attention to when something new happens. Okay, I've seen some people wrote actual Python code to do this. Why? You have bash shell in front of you. Let's see. All of them, but one of them will say something other than an error. Yeah, it won't stop because it's a very dumb for loop, right? The range is between 1 and 2000. There's like a special number. It's like we call it the hacking number. If you know what it is. Just, come on, keep going. Why is it so slow? Yeah? Because I write bad C code. As honest as I can get to you. This is probably because I don't have a return 0 at the end of my code. I just ended, so it just crashes. It should be coming up any second now. Come on. 1,300. Come on. You'll see it fly by. Yeah. Which stands for elite, which is why we call it the hacking number. It'll come out. Run by. Okay. So, so now that we know the pin is 1337, we'll just stop this. Stop. Habibi. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, you can hold down Control C, you know, as long as you want. If it's not obeying you. It's kind of like a virtual slap. All right. Jailbreak 1337. Yeah. I hate the segmentation fault. It's bothering me. All right. So the flag is the correct pin written twice. So we know that the flag is 1337, 1337. So congrats, you upped up a skill level. We scripted for once in our life. We did bash scripting. It's cool. I should give you a medal if I had one. It crashed. Oh, Control C, just hold Control C, like slam Control C. I will get to the. Really? Wait behind. So, when we're done. Oh, I can throw them out. I want to focus. I want to move into the. I'm excited for the next one actually, because like I have Alzheimer's. I don't remember what the next one is. All right. So log out. Actually, the chocolate is a good thing. I'm gonna start doing questions. You want me to throw? Okay. I played baseball in high school. Yeah, this is good. All right. So the password is 1337 1337. All right. This is dumb. I shouldn't even do this. I'm actually going to be silent. Like, you guys should just solve this on your own. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's up. You'll see that a lot. You guys should literally be able to solve this using the things I already told you. You can actually cheat. Just do cat and tab. Press tab. Khalas. Immediate solve. 1337, 1337. Repeated. Here, look. I'm going to show you. Look. Cat. Ta-da! Wow. Very difficult. This is kind of like the relaxation after the slap you just had from the previous challenge. Okay? Yes. 1337, 1337. Oh, yeah, no spaces. It's the same. All right, let's go to the next one. Yalla, yalla. You guys are excited? Listen, this is nothing. challenge 20, 25. I actually ran this challenge at a government's IT team. So we brought the IT team for that government and we split them up into teams and we put them against this. I think they got to like 26, challenge 26, and they were just crying. They were like, why did you do this to us? 1337, 1337. The user is challenge 5, chal 5. Yes. Help. Okay. Any questions? Adil. Yeah, so what I tried to be sneaky. I made a file called dot space, thinking that it would look just like the dot, but Linux thinks 2 steps ahead of me. And it just put quotations between them. It's like, what are you trying to do? All right. So let's grab this. Yalla, we're moving on to challenge 6, huh? This is just a very easy one. Oof. Okay, here we go. This is going to be very interesting. This will be interesting. I'll let you guys read this. Yeah. No. No, either. You're just in a VM right now. So this is, and you're trying to run this command, صح?
No. I actually want to do a search on this. A search
Oh,
here on this.
Oh, this is the user, Ubuntu.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah.
But I just-
That's because SSH most likely isn't set up. Like you have to actually explicitly set up SSH. So I made a file called dot space, thinking that when you do ls, it would look just like the dot. But what Linux did is that they put quotations around my file. And then when you press cat, cat automatically knows that you don't want to cat a folder. You can't cat a folder. So when you press tab, it just showed you the only file that's in the folder, which is the, right? If I had multiple files in that, it would get confused. Yeah. Cat dot backslash space is its way of telling Linux. When you put a backslash in Linux, you're telling Linux that the next character, I want you to interpret it literally. So it's telling Linux that I want you to literally interpret the space. That's the thing. Right. All right, so let's look at this. So we found a file. And let's do ls. Yalla, first chocolate of the session. Okay, I have a file here. Okay, I'm going to cut this. All right, clearly there is nothing here for me. Okay. Here, yalla, I'm gonna this question. I'm gonna pick the worst chocolate that I like, which is Bounty, which I think should be illegal. Yeah, how am I supposed to open this? Fine. Nobody said. I don't see the sun. I sit in my house. We'll do a Twix. Yeah. All right, so I'm clearly stuck here. I have a file.
Once I read the file, it's all this now.
Oh, you can run reset. Okay, I would just close it. Honestly, it's just bugged. Okay, so I have a file and I have no clue what to do with it. What am I running? Come on, hand, file. My baseball years are behind me. Here, I'll get it for you. Where did it go? To the void? Down there? Okay, it's gone. I'll get you another Twix. No problem. I'll get you another Twix. So, again, using the tools that we have a file that we don't know what to do with. I'll get you a Twix. You answered the question, so yeah. Nice catch. Okay. So, we're going to run file on this command. Okay, file on this command. We're gonna run file on this file. Yeah, Linux, man. All right, ls file Cuban cigar. So it says that this is gzip compressed data, blah 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 blah, last modified, blah 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 blah. Okay, all we need are the first 3 words. We have something to Google. This is gzip compressed data. So I'm going to Google gzip Decompress. Decompress. Not online, يا أخي. Linux. Decompressing.gz files. Sure. Ta-da. Gunzip is one command. Sure. Let's try that. Okay. Gunzip. Cuban cigar. Yeah. Did I play what? Yeah, of course I do. Playing Destiny 2 for like 8 years now. This is a weird question suddenly. Oh yeah. Of course, yeah. Playing Destiny 2. Any other questions? I don't mind these questions either. I welcome all kinds of. Yeah. Do I find myself missing waking up at 6 a.m. to go to the 6:30 a.m. bus and I don't remember who my parents are and coming to class to listen to someone who hasn't touched a computer in 25 years tell me how to use a computer? I miss it so much. I miss being on banner and like I need exactly a C. If I get a C minus in calculus 2, maybe I won't go into failure next semester. Honestly, I think the most thing I miss about AUS is being with friends. Like once you go and like whatever, like I have a friend group and we were pretty tight in AUS. We were like a big batch, like 8-10 people, right? Once everybody goes to their job, one guy, he's like, oh, I'll never leave you guys, takes the first flight to the US, never talks to you again. Some guy gets a job, he works from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You talk to him, he's not there, he's disconnected. He's just like a robot. I guess I just miss being around people, no, I joke about our professors, but I love them, even the professors that gave me a hard time, like I took calculus. No. I took calculus with Luigi, and people used to be like, "Oh, Luigi's gonna make you suffer," and I was suffering. Like I genuinely, like I'm dumb when it comes to math. I can't for the life. I failed Calc 2, and I failed chemistry. Which, by the way, don't ask me how you can fail chemistry, right? Because that's like a super easy course. What is this course, يا أخي? Remember of oxygen and I'm an engineer. I don't know any of this stuff, right? So I was sitting in calculus 1. I took calculus 1 and 2 with Luigi, right? The guy gave me C minuses across the board, okay? But I love the guy because he was passionate. Like the guy loves math. Like the guy is solving and he's having a good time. Except when we have bad grades, then he's not really having a university. Again, it's almost like it's like the same thing. When you're in university, you're like, oh, I miss high school when I wake up and I do my ABCs and life is so easy and I hate this. And then you go to work and you realize that work has nothing for you. You wake up, like you literally, I look forward to the weekend and then I sit in the weekend and my body and mind are so exhausted from the 5 days of work I've just done that I just sit and stare at the ceiling. I have my phone and I'm just on TikTok and I was like, that activity feed in Android pops up. It's like, you've spent 10 hours on TikTok today. I was like, yeah, please let me, don't give me shame. But no, seriously, it's different is what I would say. I miss AUS just because of the community. You see people all around you, you walk around the library, you sit, I remember like late nights in the library, we book a study room and you're like, yeah, we're going to study 100%. We're going to study. And then on the WhatsApp, hey guys, we're watching The Lion King tonight. Are you guys coming up to the library today? Yeah. It's a different experience. Yeah. No more study rooms when you graduate. Then you have to be like, guys, where are we going today? Ali, is your house free? No, my mom is over. Youssef, is your house free? La, wallah, my brother is in the salon today. Guys, where are we going? Oh, let's go sit in Fuddruckers. I don't want to pay 60 dirhams for a burger. I'm broke. Yeah. That's going to be your song and dance once you graduate. Anyway, so we have a file. It's gzip compressed, just like my life. And gzip is just from the name, you can already imagine it's just like a zip. So clearly we're dealing with some kind of archive, some kind of compressed data type, right? So I know how to decompress this. It's gzip-d. I'm just going to teach you the command, okay? So gzip. No, gzip will do it just fine. No, okay. Maybe you do have to rename it. So let's learn how to rename files in Linux. So I'm gonna teach you now the move command. It's mv. Okay, move. Very simply, move Cuban cigar. This is source, and the destination is Cuban cigar.gz. Wow, our first permission denied. You're gonna be dealing with a lot of those once you get the job. So the way the challenge works, I've done this on purpose. You guys you don't have the permission to write in these folders. Okay, but I've made a special folder for you that actually every time you log in, I show you that folder, but we weren't paying attention. Okay, so let's log out. I'm gonna log out. You don't have to log out. Okay, I'm just gonna log out to show you. Hello, my server. Did it die? Hello? Okay, there we go. It was just a bit sleepy. Okay. See this? Sneaky files, S capital, F capital, and files. Yep. All right. So we found a file called Cuban cigars, huh? And I was trying to decompress it with gzip, but because it doesn't have .gz at the end of the file, it wouldn't let me. So I tried to rename the file and I got permission denied. So I'm going to show you where in these challenges do you have the permission to do whatever you want. So every time you log in, I give you this. See this? Your temporary directory is /temp blah, 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 blah. And I put it in a variable for you. You can find it in $deadtemp. This is the folder that's allocated to you every time you log in. You have read, write, execute permissions. You can do whatever you want to make a 7 TB file in this folder. Go ahead. Okay, no problems. So this is where you go to when you want to run or create or modify. Okay, so CD stands for change directory. That's how we move folders. So what you can do is CD $dead temp. Okay. Yeah. So ta-da. Give me a second. All right, so we moved into this temporary folder, okay? This folder is where I can create files and do everything I want, all right? So what we need to do is we need to copy, don't move, because you don't have permission to move, okay? Let's copy that file from what child are we? Child 6. Let's copy the Cuban cigar into this folder. So we're gonna learn another command. Now the abbreviation for copy, no, it's CP. Okay, so where is Cuban cigar in? Right? We didn't figure out where we were, so we're gonna learn another command now. So if you're in a folder and you want to go back to the home folder in Linux, you can just do CD with no arguments. You'll go back to the normal folder, home folder, we call it, which is the folder of the current user. Okay, we need to know where we are. We have a command called pwd, print working directory, which basically means print where I am right now. So pwd /home/shell6. So in Linux /home. So you know how in Windows the top folder is C, right? The C drive at the top. In Linux we don't have drives. We don't have letters. Everything starts at /. Everything. You could have like 20 hard drives. Everything will start at /. So /home is where all the folders of all the users are. It's like in Windows C users. It's the same thing, /home. Okay. So we want to copy. So that means that the full path of Cuban cigar, if I want to, let's say, do this, is /home shell 6. I don't want to press tab because it's going to show me everything. Cuban cigar. So this is what we call a full path. Okay. This, whenever you specify a file with its complete path, we call this a full path. Okay. If I did /Cuban cigar, we call that a relative path because it's relative to where you are in the system at the time. But if you always want to, like wherever we are in the system, you want to always have a reference to Cuban cigar, this is the full path. So again, I know this is getting a bit confusing. Yeah. Print working directory prints the folder you're in right now. Okay. So we're going to CD back to dead temp. Okay. All right. I want to copy. So CP. That's always source. And then the destination, I can just do dot. Copy it from its full path to where I am right now. Okay. And if I do ls in that folder, you'll see right now. Ta-da! We have Cuban cigar. So great. Yeah. Oh, this is source, then space destination. The arguments are source destination, source destination. So the destination is where I am right now. That's it. Okay. So yeah. What do you mean? Oh, I was just showing you that you can reference the Cuban cigar file by its full path where it is in the system. The full path. That's it. So ls will just list when you're lsing a file, it will just confirm that that file exists or not, basically. Copy. So we're copying from where it is and moving it into dead temp. Now, why are we copying it? Because we don't have write permissions. We don't have the permission to rename the file in the original folder /home/shell6. So you're moving it into your own folder where you have the permission to rename it. So again, what were we doing? We were trying to rename the file to have .gz at the end, right? So let's do exactly that. MV for move, Cuban cigar, source, and then destination. .gz. ls again to confirm it got renamed. gzip-d. It didn't do anything apparently. ls. We have Cuban cigar again. What is this Russian doll in and out? Let's do file. Now we have a tar archive. Okay, so the type of the file changed. So again, I'm going to explain piece by piece what happened. Okay. Here, we are copying Cuban cigar into our dead temp folder. We're renaming it to have a .gz extension so that the gzip command can work. We decompressed it. It was compressed. We decompressed it with the gzip algorithm, and it gave us a file called Cuban cigar again. But this file and this file are not the same file. Okay, it just removed the .gz from the end, because proof by this is when we ran file, we got a tar archive. Okay. Yes. Any questions? I know it's a bunch of steps. You can ask. Move. By moving it from one place to another place with the same name, different name, sorry. That's it. So it will actually move it and just, that's the thing. Renaming in Linux is actually just moving a file to a different name. Yeah. Same question? Yeah. Okay. When we ran file on the Cuban cigar earlier, it said it was gzip compressed. We Googled, we found out that you can decompress. Gzip is an algorithm, like a compression algorithm. So we just decompressed it. And it turns out that it was a file in a file. This file is a different file. Okay. Any other questions? All right. So let's try catting this file. Let's try reading. I hate saying catting so much. I swear it should not be a thing. All right. So you see that you can, there's a bunch of data, but you can actually see the flag there in plain text. Right? See it here at the end, tar is bad for your lungs. Yeah, when I say I wrote this at 3 a.m., I really do mean it. Yeah, sure. What's that? What's that? Tar is a type of zip in Linux. So in Linux, we have zip files and we have tar files. It's just another compression algorithm, right? So, yeah. Okay. This was gzip compressed. We renamed it, we decompressed it. Turns out there's another file in it. So the gzip decompression removed the .gz, but it's a different file. Yes. What does what? So zcat is another file that is it's like cat, but it will gzip decompress before you cat. That's essentially it. So you're basically combining. So let's say you have a text file. This text file is gzip compressed. You don't want to go through the 2 steps of gzip-d and then cat. You want to do it in 1 step. That's the zcat. Yeah. Yes. Text files. It can basically read anything. It'll just spit out what it sees in the file. But clearly, as you saw, if the file has unreadable characters, it starts to mess up a bit, right? No, this is literally what's in the tar file. The tar file, the format of the tar file is like this. So there was actually, there's actually something very clever that happened here. In Linux, okay, most commonly, so you have .zip and .rar on Windows, right? Okay, in Linux, the most common like extension, compression extension you'll find is .tar.gz, both. And I kind of removed the extension from you so you wouldn't see. So that's actually zipping it twice. You zip it once with the tar algorithm, and then you zip it with the gzip algorithm. And people like to combine those in Linux. So in reality, this was a .tar.gz file. So when you encounter this in reality, you would unzip it. There's actually a way to unzip it with the tar command in one go, all in one go. All right. Yeah, sure, sure. All right. So let's reset this. Let me show you how to do this normally. Let's remove. Oh, RM is for remove, by the way, just FYI. Remove, yes. Okay. Let's copy it again. And I'm going to rename it to what you would actually see it in real life. So it would be Cuban. Can I tab this? Right. .tar.gz. Right. It would look like this. And what you do is tar extract, X for extract. So the tar syntax is kind of unique. But you can actually put dashes here, by the way. It'll work. So X for extract, dash V for verbose, which is like print out the files that you extract. And then I think it's dash Z for gzip. Okay, it's all of these together. And then Cuban cigar. Hello. What? Oh, wait, what the heck? Why did the move command? Oh, no, wait. Oh, F, صح, you're right. F for file. Okay, so X extract, F, here is the file that I want you to extract, V for show me what you're doing, and Z for gzip. A bunch of things on top of each other. There you go. Flag.txt, I do ls, I see flag.txt. There you go. All right. Thank you. Extracting a zip file gives me an award. All right, this is understandable. This is a bit like, more complex. I mean, but this is how you would do it. Yeah. You can do that in 2 steps if you want, but the tar command has support for gzip file extraction automatically with this Z. No, you can't do tar. You have to gzip first and then tar. No. You could put these ZVF where, yeah, it doesn't really matter. X for extract, F for file, V for verbose, like B like print out what files, which is why it printed out flag.txt, print out what files you extracted, and Z for gzip. Yeah. Yes. Before doing what? Yeah. Oh, you can put the dash if you want before it or without dashes. It will work. Didn't work? With the dashes, it didn't work? Okay, خلاص, then just I usually I do it without the dashes, yeah. That's why I said tar has a very special syntax. Oh, you mean gzip dash D? That didn't work. Here I just so the tar is the proper way to do it because it does the 2 steps in one go. So that's it. This you should just remember this way. And this is the normal way to do it. Yes. Yes. Again, guys, this is a very special scenario because in reality, people are not going to hide the file extensions from you. I hid the file extension on purpose as part of the challenge. But in reality, if you were to download this file like for work or something, it would have .tar.gz. It's like imagine I download the file and I have to play Hazar Fazar. What is this file? Guessing. All right, let's do one last one and then we'll wrap up. Okay. 8 challenges out of 33 is not bad. I honestly expected we wouldn't get past 3. Oh wait, 7 is the brute force one. You want to do that actually? Okay. Yeah. You guys don't have to follow this next part because you don't have the tools. Okay, I have the tools. So when you try to log in with Chal 7 on the password, it's going to tell you password denied. Okay, because if you remember when we logged in with challenge 6, actually, if I go up to the top, it should have. What is this? Hello, sir. Okay. What was this? Sneaky files? Sneaky files. In red at the bottom, I say that the next user, the password is not the flag. You have to brute force. So this is going to be our first actual hacking thing. Yay. I'm so excited. Let me just, I'm looking for a brand new, I actually had a brand new tool that does this. Presenting. Do I want to install this? Wallah, shaklu, it will take time. Yeah. Okay. So when we talk about when we talk about brute forcing, this is the first type of hacking that we're doing. Okay. So there's a very famous command that was written by a very famous program that was written by a very old hacking group. They're called the Hacker's Choice. They're a German group. I think a bunch of them got old. Yeah, and felt like these tools were written a long time ago. But the tool is called Hydra. I have Hydra. See? Wow, look, I have the syntax. Thank you. I was gonna suffer, honestly, doing that. Where's Hydra? Okay. So let's take a look at this command. So Hydra is a tool, one of those hacking tools that we use to brute force passwords for anything. SSH is one of them. So very quickly, Hydra -L for user. We're brute forcing the password for child 7. Okay. And then -P for the password list. So I had this list of 10,000 passwords. Okay. Downloaded 4 threads. So like four tries at a time. And then -V is -V to just show attempts while you're brute forcing. You guys don't need to remember this. This is very unrealistic. You should not brute force SSH in real life. Okay, you'll get blocked like 3 attempts in. Okay, and then just like, where am I brute forcing? For some reason, I was brute forcing localhost. Why was I doing that? I don't know. Things that you do at 3 a.m. man. All right, we'll just change this to cloud.ted packets.pw. Port 22. I don't think I have the file anymore. Okay, let's make one. So Nano is one of the many text editors you have on Linux. Okay, there's kind of like a holy war going on which of the best text editor. There's Vi, there's just Nano is for me what I use. Okay, Nano. Let's do pass.txt. Let's do. Let me just type a bunch of them. Okay. Just typed in a bunch of passwords. Wow, I think you can guess which one was the right password. All right. Ta-da! How fast was that? Very fast. Well, usually this list would have like a million passwords and then you just get blocked like 5. So what happened is it just kept trying each password, right? And then this one just worked. So the password for challenge 7 is fantasy. Let's just log in real quick and just grab the flag just for my OCD. Fantasy ls cat flag. Ta-da! Hail Hydra. So because that's the only SSH brute forcing tool that was available at the time. All right, that's 7 challenges done. You guys can write this password down if you want to continue from home. Go ahead. Let's want to do.
So we're gonna show now the feedback form. So don't fill the feedback form. And while you fill that, you have Youssef react.
Yeah. Now you can ask any question you want across any topic you want. Please fill in the form, guys, because if you guys want to see me again, like I actually want to do this all the way till 33. When I was in AUS, I'll answer the questions. When I was in AUS, when I had full control over the lectures, we did everything. We did Wi-Fi hacking, we did RFID hacking. I remember people from the IT department of AUS came to my Wi-Fi hacking workshop, and I was like teaching them. I was like, you see AUS wireless? This is how you DDoS AUS wireless. You know, the guys sitting there.